Hey guys, so this is the second attempt at recording this. The first one kind of gone off the rails due to my alarm went off and then my computer decided to, go off with a bunch of sound as well, which not fun. Anyways, so what I'm going to be doing today is a little short character review and see if you guys like it. I have been trying to find some really solid programming for the channel that you guys will all love and adore, as well as me having fun recording it. So the more likes any one particular thing that I'm doing gets, the more likely it is that I'm going to do it again. For example, I plan on doing more next-gen base edits and regular edits because you guys seem to really love those. So, that being said, today we're looking at a character by Little Liar 47 on DeviantArt, and this character right here, as you can see. And now, the way I'm going to structure this is I'm going to go over the bio that we have right here first, read it through, and as I'm reading, critique the things that I think could be added, changed, or overall improved. Then go back to the design and critique the design. So, I'm going to, at the end, summarize what I feel could be made better for the character, as well as kind of go over tips and tricks for just in general making a better character for everyone out there, not just the person that I'm critiquing. Okay, so that being said, let's get on with it. So, name Space Beam, Spacey for short. Age 16. I have a hard time with pony ages. I'm assuming that when you say age 16, you're referring to a human timeline, because obviously a horse will be aging differently than a human. I personally prefer to age things at a human rate, but I always make note of it because I feel like ponies would have a more human-like... Actually, we know from the show, they actually don't even have a human-like aging because Granny Smith is like 300-something years old. So I have a feeling that they actually live way longer than humans. So then you have to come into the question of what constitutes an age of maturity within ponies, and then it all becomes a really big mess. So I tend to not put age in general for my pony characters. I tend to just say what stage of life they're in. So they're a teenager, they're an adult, they're a child, they're an elder, so on and so forth. Okay, so it is so the bio says, part of an unknown species of pony. Now, I like the idea of having new and unique species within worlds. However, you need to think about the information. You're not, in the bio, you're not giving us a lot of information, so I don't know if you've already thought it over or not. But if you haven't, you really need to think over that species, like what its life cycle is like, what it eats on a regular basis, how its social structure is done. So if you think over those things, you'll end up with a much more full character. Now, one side note I want to make is I am not going to be critiquing these and calling anything Mary Sue or saying anything to that nature. I really hate when people use that because it's become shorthand for like, I'm too lazy to tell you what's actually wrong. I'm going to spell everything out for you guys. I just wanted to make that side note. So, okay. Spacey came to Equestria hoping to learn more about the creatures that lived here. Alright, what is she trying to learn? It might be a question that I would ask myself when designing this character, when creating this bio. Like, is she trying to learn more about friendship? Because that's a big, theme in the story. Or is she trying to learn more about just the species in general? She's an explorer, she's a space scientist, or something of that nature. A xenobiologist is actually the correct term. Anyways, ponies look at him as odd when her first got there. There's some issues there with grammar. I have a feeling that the him is a mistake, a typo. I do that all the time too. I'll type and I'll be so, into typing that I'll accidentally type him or his instead of her and hers, or vice versa. So, ponies looked at him, at her odd when she got there, or is it he? I could have sworn it said she in the beginning. I guess it is a he. Okay, so ponies looked at him as odd when he first got there. That sentence, sorry, is tripping me up, but I understand what you're trying to say. So they looked at him odd when he got to Equestria, which is understandable. He kind of looks like an alien, although not too much so. Talking about design, he could have worn a hat and probably fit in pretty well with ponies. So, I don't know. Not really talking or interacting much with him. This actually makes a lot of sense, because if you haven't noticed within the show, ponies do have a tendency to, if someone is even slightly different, to kind of push them away. I hate to say it, but ponies are really racist. Like, a good example is with Zecora. And then there's also the Luna fiasco. I mean, I'm not sure why they do that, but they do. Anyways. But they slowly started to accept him, and he has made a lot of friends. I would like more information on what caused them to start accepting him more. A little more information would be nice. It seems like a really sudden and abrupt change from nobody likes him to everybody is okay with him. Now, I didn't say everybody likes him. I said everybody is okay with him. There is a big difference there. So I kind of would like to know what happened there. That there's a lot of information that could be filled in there. Did he meet someone randomly and that person gave him a chance? Or did he slowly accustom himself to everyone else? Or did he just start wearing a hat? I mean, there's a lot of reasons why they could just suddenly start liking him, but you need to, fill that in for us. His antenna can change their brightness. That makes sense. Able to light up an entire forest if needed. And instead of breathing oxygen, he breathes nitrogen. I don't know about how possible that is as far as a scientific standpoint. That would be something that you would need to actually research a lot of, because oxygen is used for breathing for a very important reason. It oxidizes things. It exchanges ions. I think it's ions. It exchanges particles between, and that allows it to I'm so bad at describing scientific processes. I'm sorry, guys. But basically, the reason why oxygen is breathed by animals is because of the iron in our blood. And it allows it to bond with the iron and just a bunch of things. It has to do with the chemical processes that create sugars within our bodies, which creates energy. It's called ADP. It's really complicated, and I can't really go into it without doing some refresher study, because I am memorizing all of this off of high school, which was 15 years ago, guys. I was in high school 15 years ago. But the point is I'm not sure how scientifically accurate breathing nitrogen is. On the other hand, one of the common things that I do see in alien species is different colored blood. And that is actually plausible. And in fact, we've got several animals on Earth who have different colored bloods. For example, green blood is really common amongst ancient sea life. Trilobites are a good example. I think trilobites. I don't remember the name of them. Horseshoe crabs. There we go. Now I remember the name. Anyways, they have green blood because their oxygen delivering system is based off of copper. I would just do a little bit of research on that and see if it's even plausible. I mean, that's just coming from me, who is a stickler about science, if you can't tell. I have a passion for it. Anyways, his species can't get cutie marks. That makes a lot of sense. I figure most species other than ponies can't. But it's pretty clear his talent is finding hidden objects and artifacts. I would like more information about that, actually. I would love for you to add information on how he's found different objects and different artifacts. Like, really expanding the lore of your character is super important. Now, the other thing that I have a slight issue with this bio, and I know it's not really the person's fault because they gave it to me without having been able to edit or anything. They just quickly slapped it down when I asked for characters to review. So they probably weren't thinking about this bio being reviewed, but one of the big things that I would love to see is a personality section. Because personality is really important to your character. Whether or not your character has a good personality can either make or break them, really, in the long run. So I think that's about it for the bio. Basically, all I can see really wrong with it is I would love for you to give more information, and I would like for you to actually do a little bit of research into certain things before just, like, slapping it down, like the nitrogen thing. I personally don't think that's possible. I could be wrong. There could be something that would require nitrogen to be brought into the system, but I still think that everything that creates ADP or, you know, metabolizes needs oxygen. That being said, let's look at the design. Ugh, I just said that really badly. I'm sorry, guys. Anyways, so this design is super freaking cute. Like, I'm not gonna lie, most adorable thing I've seen in a while. I really love the color combination. Blues and greens look really good together. So, I really think this is a solid design, but like I stated before, I do feel like it looks a little too much like a regular pony with antenna. It may just be me. I just feel like it could use a little bit more of a difference of appearance, especially since the ponies of Ponyville seemed really concerned about his looks when he first showed up. I can't really say in particular there's anything that I would fix if I were redesigning this character. Mainly because I don't know enough about their personality to really know where they're coming from. So, I've talked about this in other videos, but personality really informs on the character's appearance. I'm not gonna make a character who is aggressive, have a very super Lolita style, unless I'm going particularly for a tsundere. So, that being said, I say design looks good, backstory needs a tiny bit of work, and that leads me into my conclusions, which, like I said, backstory needs a little bit of work, would love a personality, design is spot on, love it, and I'm going to talk to my other watchers now and say, when it comes to characters and creating characters, one of the big, most important things that you can do is create their bio. Now, obviously I'm more of a design channel, but I do write a lot. I don't post a lot of it online just because I eventually plan on publishing. Not my pony stuff, that gets posted online, but my other stuff. So, when you're making your bio, and this is, you know, for everyone involved here, the watchers and Little Liar 47. When you make your bio, you should constantly be asking yourself questions. You need to look at your bio from an outward perspective. So if you're reading it as someone who doesn't know what's going on and you go, wait, why is this? That may mean you need to fill in a little bit more information. The other thing that I'm going to say to everyone is research. I know it may seem daunting, and I know a lot of people don't want to research if they're just going to have a fun little character. And that's fine if you're just gonna have a fun little character, but if you want to do anything that's even remotely interesting as far as writing goes and characterization, research. I don't know how much research I have done on specific characters that I've decided to create. So, that being said, I think that's about all. Love you guys. You guys are amazing. Thank you for watching my channel. I really do thank you. And I'm trying to be a positive bubble lately because I've just been so blah as of late. So, I'm going to say to you guys, if you like this video, please like, obviously. If you, I wish I did a cam video thing with these things because you could see my hand movements. I do a lot of hand movements. Swim. Right now I'm making a swimming hand movement. But I don't like being recorded. I'm very insecure about my appearance, so that's probably not going to even happen in the future. That being said, like if you liked it, comment down below if you have anything to comment. I would be greatly appreciated. I try to reply to everyone. And obviously, subscribe, bell button, you know, the whole deal. And if you really want to find more information out about me, about what I'm doing, and if you want to just chat at me, I have a Twitter. It will be in the description, along with the links to all the rest of my social media. Some of them I don't use very often, but I'm more often than not on Twitter, so you can find me there. You can also find me on Equestria Mino if you want to. Not sponsored. Wish it was. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys later, and bye!